So is equal. So, okay, I have a one table. This table I have a last modified column. Okay. So okay, so how to insert a new record? So I'm inserting a one record. Now function I can use. So now function is giving the current date, right? Whenever the data is inserted, so now function is giving the inserting data with the current date and time. So if I see, so far I have a 4 record with this date and everything is there. So what I will do, I will do first scoop job. I'm not doing last modified one, last modified you right? I'm doing through the scoop job. I will create a one scoop job, which will write the data first, all these 4 record. And then after one record, I will update and one record I will add. And then we will see our result. Okay. Then we will see our result. Okay. Okay, very simple. First, I'm going to create a scoop job. Okay. So a scoop job and I'm going to create, I'm just giving my scoop job name is last modified. Okay. And this scoop job having the parameters. Okay. Here I'm changing the database is scoop and my table is EMP and target dir scoop modified incremental. So incremental, the key, the incremental, the column will be last modified. So I have to just check the column name should be the same. My table column. My table column is a last underscore modified. Okay. So I have to change this last underscore modified. My column name is the last underscore modified. And I want to do the merge operation, right? Like some record is if change. Okay. So merge key, I'm using the ID column. Okay. Like if any existing record is changed, right? So I want to use the ID column. Okay. So merge key and the check column. Oh, okay. Okay. We will not change this one. This is basically attribute. Okay. This is the keyword. Okay. We cannot change this.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So merge. Okay. So merge key ID and check column will be instead of ID, we will be using last underscore modified. That is my column name. That is my column name. So, okay. And I'm going to create this job. So incremental will be last modified. Incremental is the last modified. Okay, so the job is created. If I see scoop job hyphen list, scoop job hyphen list. So I will see my job is created. Okay, and now I'm going to run this job, my scoop job, and minus exec, and I will be executing this job. So this is first time we are loading. Okay, as it is, how many records are there? It will come. So how many records are there? 4 are there. Okay. Okay. So how many records retrieved? 4 records are retrieved. Okay. So now I'm going to check my Hadoop directory. I'm going to check my file. Okay. So how many records should be there? 4. Okay. Abhi, right. Nothing I have done incremental. Nothing incremental. It is just same as it is. I'm just retrieving the data. So now you can verify your data is same. Your data is exactly same, right? Okay, so our data is same. The column will not come same, I told, right? Because we are using minus table. Okay. Now I want to apply in the same query incremental. Okay, first I change the record. Okay. So I'm going to update second record. Okay. Update set name, update table name, update emp set name, and say like I want to change test1 to test1 underscore modified. Okay, modified. Okay, I change the name where id equal to 2. Where id equal to 2. Any other field also you can change. Okay, like I want to change the age also. Age. Okay, now first I check the second record is updated. My second record is updated. So this is the one record I updated. I'm adding a new record. So can you see it's, oh, okay. Because I have to update the date and time also. So we have to do one more time update, because update record, we have to update the date and time. Otherwise, our record will not be picked up for update. Okay. So I will be, whatever field you are updating, you update, but you update last modified also. Last underscore modified now function. Okay. Now I will see my ID 2, my name is modified, my age is modified, my time is modified. Okay. So my entire record is modified. Okay. And one more record I'm adding. Okay. So one insert into record we added last time one. We just change here new record. So new record is a 5.
Arvind, I have a question here. Earlier, also without the last modified, also the time got changed, right, in the second record.
Change it automatically. I did here na update. So after that 1021. Yeah.
24th February 1021.
Yeah. But time how it is. Okay, time is okay. I got it. Time actually is okay. Even if you don't give na, I have already set it default. Okay, see here default. So when you set it default, even because nobody can remember, right? You have to update time. Generally, the time is generally we keep it current date and time. Okay, so whenever you are inserting record or updating record, you don't need to give the time. Only change your column because this column is completely not rely on the person. Okay, it is automatically inserted updated. Okay, but with the current time stamp. So that is the reason actually I didn't see. If this thing you have not set it, it will not change automatically. Okay, because even if I insert also, I don't need to give it. Okay, so I will not give this one also. It will work. Okay, it
So
will.
it is last modified time?
Hmm?
It is last modified time?
Yeah, last modified is the set default.
Okay.
It is already set the default. The default means like it's not rely on the our insertion. It will whenever the data is updated and inserted, right? So it is that is the reason here it happened, right? I didn't update manually. I didn't update, right? But when I checked it, the data, the time is automatically came today, date and time, right? Whenever I run this command, exactly it took the same time stamp. Okay, this one update. Same thing with the insert. But insert it is actually the parameter. The other way is, insert into table now, we can give the column and values. Then it will allow, but here I have to insert manually. Okay. Because here it is expecting the same number of column because I'm directly giving values. If you are giving insert into table and column names, then you can give 3 columns. Okay. Okay, so now these two records are updated. So one record is this one. So what is the last modified time is there? The last modified time is there is date wise. If I see this one, okay. So 24/02/2024 10:14 is the last modified time it has. Okay, and now I'm going to 10:22 is the latest and one is a 10:25. Okay, so these two records are greater than this timestamp 10:14. This one 10:14. So ideally we should get one record new and this record is existing record. Okay, so as per in this data, so I will see one is a fifth record will come and one more record is no one is existing record. This will be updated. Okay. So total number of record will be 5 only. Okay. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to run the sqoop job and we can check the metadata. Okay, if we check like what is the last record sqoop, what last modified time is there. Okay, sqoop job minus show. So here I do. If I check the last modified, so incremental last value is 1018. 1018 means it is taking the when it is run the job that time the what last modify. So all the record, so whatever records inserted that is below 1018. Okay. So if we look at after 1018, how many records are there? After 1018, one is a 1025 and one is a 1022. So same what we are expecting, right? Okay. So this last modified time is not the record one. It is the last when it run the last incremental it has run. Okay. Scoop job. So just I run the job. Okay, I have written here. So you can, this one you have to try. So this one is a manual way, the last value. So every time you give your manual value, whatever value you got it in the last one. So first time you run this way and second time you run this one. Okay. And the same thing, how can we do with the scoop job? So we created this entire thing with the scoop job without last modify this last value. Okay, without last value. Okay. What is the advantage of the using scoop job? We can do without a scoop job also, but what is the advantage?
We don't need to add the last value manually every time. That's one
Okay,
thing.
but what is journal one, right? This is for incremental, okay, but journal, right? If I'm creating not only for incremental, I create a normal scoop import command also, we can do scoop job, right? So reusability, right? You are creating one job and you are as executing job. You are not writing again scoop import command, right? So you are getting reusability, but a scoop job you cannot modify. Once you created a scoop job, you cannot change it. You have to delete and create a new scoop job. Okay. If you have to change some database name or any parameter you have to change, you cannot do. Okay. Now we are going to check first how many files are there. Okay. Like after. So you are able to see the file is not created. The new file is not created, but in case of append mode, the file was created. So what it did, basically it has changed existing file, right? Can you see here? The file changed at 1029. Okay. 1029, this file is modified. Okay. Let's see this modified file. Okay. So because new file is no sense, right? Because your data is going to update. So definitely it should be updated in the same file. Okay. So there is no point to create a new file in case of last modified. Okay. So now I'm going to check part R. Can you see one more difference? What is there in this file? Anything you are realizing something is changed? I believe. Yeah. Can you see in this one? This is the first time one, right? This is the first time one, right? And this is this one, and see this one. What change you feel in this one? In this
The
one,
file size increased.
file size definitely increased. I'm saying see something difference which is very clear, right? File size will definitely different because the new record will come, right? Okay, because of that. Okay, that's a one difference. Time is changed, you cannot say that. Something else you recognize, it is there, it's very visible, clear, very Very, very clear. Nobody is able to see. Can you see this part R? There is a part M. That was the mapper file, and this time is creating a part R file. Output reducer file is created. Okay, you didn't recognize this change because previously you seen that part M was there because it's the first time load. But now the data is updated. So reducer is this time the reducer file is created. Okay. So we say always the sqoop is mapper job, right? Sqoop is mapper. There is no reducer, but reducer, it is also having reducer, but very, very certain cases, right? Like this is the case where the reducer came in picture. Okay. Because your file is keep modifying. You are not creating a new output file. You are modifying existing file. Okay.
When we modify, then why reducer comes to picture? Means reducer job is to sort and shuffle, and then throw down.
See, this reducer is like it's basically it is doing some modification calculation. Like you understand, right? You are picking up the existing data and you are modifying, right? So definitely this is a part of reducer, not mapper. Mapper part is just select. You take it something from the database and write it as it is. You are not doing anything. Okay. You
So
are not
it
doing
means
anything.
in data nodes, it is sort and shuffling is happening through network. That's why
Sorting
reducer
suppling
files.
is different thing. Sorting suppling is not like here is we are modifying like whatever we are expecting. Our this second record is modified and new record is added. And now if I check my last modify in the metadata, if I check metadata, so last modified metadata, if I see, it is 1028. So all are covered, 1028, all are covered, right? So it means so far 1028 there. Now if I add any record, that will be after 1028. Okay. So then those record will come in the next incremental. Okay. Okay, any question? Okay, so this is the
So
basic.
Arvind, so every time when we load the data, like after creating the, not the first time, after the first time, every time when we update or load the data,
Mhm.
it will be the reducer only.
Yeah, it will be reducer only. Mhm. Okay, let's try if we
Okay.
don't do.
Only the first time it will be mapper.
First time will be mapper. After that, you are keep modifying. Okay. Okay. So if I, okay, let's see if I'm just adding a new record only. I think this will be also S6. Okay. So same thing is in the MapReduce also, right? When the mapper file comes and when the reducer file there. So ultimately it's a similar type of logic is doing in the backend. Okay, we are not doing that logic, but the scoop is doing that logic, right? So when it's only just you are retrieving data, you are not doing any manipulation on the data. So that is mapper. But when you are doing something data manipulation, right? Here is you are modifying data. So it is going to the reducer Okay, even you will see here also. If reducer is coming in picture, it will not be a 0 to 0. It will be 0 to here also the percentage will be coming. If you see in the whenever your mapper jobs are there, the reducer will not be there. But here is a 0 to 100 is coming. Working. Okay. So once map completed 100%, your reducer is 0. Because reducer cannot be started till the mapper is finished, because there is a contract between the mapper and reducer, because maps will be done completely, then reducer will start, and then reduce will be start 100%. Okay, because once the reducer is mapper is completed 100%, then reduce will be start from 0 to 100. Okay, now let's see the data. Okay, so this same file. So now onwards, all it's part R only. There is no part M, right? So if you see, this record is inserted. So it can be used not only for update, insert also can be, right? Or both, or only insert. Okay. But append key mode only for insert. Append key mode only for insert. Okay. So next we go with this scoop with hive import. Okay. How to get the data. So this all command we have done already, and I have already given in the classroom. Okay. Okay, so when we starting with the hive import, right? So there is a two-step process. Like either we can do importing data into Hadoop file system and load the data into hive table, that we know, right? How to write the data using the load data local file command. We can load the data. Okay. So that is a one way. But if I don't want to do all those two steps, I can directly load the data into hive table. It will create a hive table as well as it will load the data from MySQL. Okay. So I don't need to go for two-step process, right? So two-step process, like I'm just importing the data first into Hadoop file system and then loading data into hive table. Okay, in that case, I have to create manually hive table. But here, the hive table will be created also by the sqoop command, and it will be importing the data also in hive. So underlying data storage will be Hadoop file system only, but the data will be mapped. So data will be mapped. So I have to tell here which database and which table you want to load. Okay, I have a database there. I say my database is, so whatever database you give, it will load the data. So just I change the database and table name, and rest of the other things are same. I'm saying my sqoop database has this table. Okay, just I check this sqoop database, this table is there. So I check show tables. So I have a table MON2 is there. Then I check the data. So I want my table should be, this is my data MON2, and I want the table should be created by this name. Okay. And one target dir giving here, this target dir is having the location of the data in the Hadoop file system. Okay. Generally target dir is a must, right? Because target dir we have to specify the location of the data will be imported in Hadoop file system. Okay. So I'm giving here the new location. So anything you can give. So here one more thing is there split by, so it will create a number of files, right? Based on the, if you don't give this one, it will be keeping it your data in the Hadoop file system, only one single file. Okay, that we can remove also, or otherwise it will create a, I'm not giving a number of mapper minus m value, it will create a 4 output file. Okay. So now we want to run this command. So I will run this service. And one more thing is when you are doing this sqoop hive import, so you should not running your hive. So hive should not be running. Okay, I'm just running a meta store service. Okay, now. Okay, let's just rerun this sqoop hive import command. So can you see here how many mapper files are coming? 4, because we have not given -m parameter. So it is 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 52. So for this complete import is divided into have to run the meta store. So this import is failed. Connection refused. Okay. So meta store service should be running, not hive. Meta store service should be running. Okay, I run the meta store service. Now I will. So now I have to change. Maybe this directory is created, so it should not give the error again. So I just change the. So new terminal. So it is doing first loading data into Hadoop file system, whatever your target DIR, and then it is connecting to Hive and load the data into Hive table. So these two things are done in one single sqoop import command. Okay. If you're not doing a sqoop hive import, so manually you can do. Okay. But here the sqoop hive import command is doing 2 steps. One is first writing data into Hadoop file system, whatever target DIR you given, and then loading data into Hive table. Okay.
So here cut and paste is happening. Yes, after loading into HDFS, then it.
Yeah, the 2 steps is doing right. But meta store service should be keep running, because last time I got the error. The meta service, like meta store is metadata, right? About the tables metadata, right? To store somewhere, it will store metadata, right? Because it is
Internally or
going to
MySQL?
create a new table, and when it
Eh,
is going to create a new table, it has to. So here it is a Hive connection. Okay. So this is the Hive import. So similar thing you seen, right? Whenever you are executing the query outside the Hive, right? You are just a terminal, right? You can Hive command you can give. So you can run also Hive queries on the terminal directly, right? If you can write in the shell script like this, Hive minus E, and you give like select star from EMP, you will get the data, right? So this is the way, right? You can execute query by giving a select command, or any command you can do, whatever command you want to run in your Hive, you can use with the Hive. So Hive, it will connect to Hive first and then execute this query. Okay, but here it will not be a permanent connection, right? It just connect and get the data and give it to you. Okay, it's like a temporary connection. It's a temporary connection, and that connection it will connect. Okay, so same thing is sqoop is doing. Sqoop is just connecting for just one, creating a table, importing data, loading data, all those things is doing, and then coming out. Okay, so that is the reason we don't need to connect Hive separately. It is using to connect by thrift server right here 9083. So this is basically kind of thrift protocol, right? See, can you see here the create table command it run? You can see create table command, right? Then opened a connection a meta store. Now last time it didn't get the meta store connection, right? Because I didn't start the meta store service. Okay, it is not a very small log. It is like complete all steps is doing. Okay, if you see here from the starting, right, when it created a table, if you see here, see load data command is there or not? Can you see? This is the load data command, right? See, same thing, whatever you do manually, right? Sqoop is also running a shell script. Sqoop import is running a command. Okay. The difference is here you are running in the Hive shell, and here it is running on the dollar right terminal. Like it is manually doing. It is doing like through the same command it's running, because it found your table is this, override into table this database and this table name. And what is the location? Whatever target dir you given, it has given that location. So it is finding the data from the location where you imported. And if you see, create table syntax is also there. This is a create table syntax. So whatever the field you want to, so it has created a age, ID, like all these field, and it has created table. So first it created table, then it loaded data into table from the file, whatever file is in inputted. Okay, so you can see even the file also in the same location. So Hadoop fs minus ls. So what is my target dir location? So my target dir location is this. Okay. Why it is saying?
ఎప్పుడు చూసినా ఎఫ్ఎస్ఎల్ఎస్ వాడతారేంటి కన్నా?
Okay, so this location, warehouse. Okay, I understood. This is the data is will be going to the table directory location. Okay. Because once the data is copied now, it is moved the data from this location. Why we are not able to see the data here? Because data is when the data is loaded, so data is loaded from here to the actual table directory location. So my
Yeah, that's why I said cut and paste is happening.
Okay, so if I go and check, okay. Okay, so use batch 2024-02. Okay, show table. Start from but why data came null? Okay, so this is data is coming. Okay, and what is this Hadoop location? Hadoop fs ls. Dot db. So here is okay, so we will see the data, but why the null is coming? That is the question. Because this is the one file is coming. Okay, total 4 files. I told you, right? Because
Data type didn't match. Can you check it, please?
no, but it has created data type. Now, if I show you the table, and you guys know the reason. See, age is integer, ID is integer, name is string, and gender is string. So all columns are correct data type. And if you see your MySQL also, but if you see, first column is age. What is coming here? ID is coming. Second column is ID. What is coming? Null is coming. So it means it's is completely problem, but name is a string, then it's coming fine. Gender is a string, it is coming fine. Okay, but name is not coming. So these 3 columns are not coming good, right? These 3, first 3 columns. Actually, this happened because you are using minus minus table. If you use minus minus query, I already told this thing. If you remember, right? You always use minus minus query. So your whatever sequence of column you are giving, it will come in the same order in the table. Okay. Whenever you use minus minus table, the order is not predicted because the order can be changed, right? You cannot make it fix. Okay. But when you are using query, if I give this order, the same order, the hive will create. Okay. So this order thing, you have to choose this one. Okay. So I will show you the next example where we will be importing data. So if you want to correct it, this one here, just change this to -e and it will work. Okay. So this one you have to do because you are saying like first is ID, age, name, gender. So same order you make it here as same as a hive table one. Okay. So you just whatever order you give, then your hive will change accordingly. Okay. Abhi right now it is coming randomly. Okay. So that part you check with this import command. Okay. So this is the import you have to try the same import, only change the DB table and the target year. This all you remove. And if you remove this split by column, then you have to give -m parameter. Okay. So -m parameter you have to give. -m parameter you have to give. Okay. In that case, if you are not giving a split by, because split by ID will automatically split by ID and -m also you can use. Okay. But if you are not giving -m, then it will take it 4. Split by ID and the default is taking 4. Okay. But split by ID, you can use -m also. But when you are using not split by ID, then in that case, you have to use -m1 only. You cannot use m2, 3. You cannot choose the number because in that case, it will run only with one mapper. Okay. Now the next thing we are going to do, we want to import the data, but we want to import the data in the partition table. Okay, so far this is non-partition. If you see show create table command, you can see the structure. Show create table, and I check the table is structure. So this table is non-partition. Can you see anywhere the partition by is there? There is no partition by. When this table is created by the sqoop, right? But there is no partition by is there. So this is not partition table because I have not specified in my sqoop import partition clause. So when I specify in my import command partition clause like this, hive partition by this one. So it will create your new table with partition table. Okay. So same MySQL table we can choose for writing the partition data. How? I will give the query here. I will say gender equal to male, and I can say I want to get the male data in a one partition and female data in another partition. So what I'm creating here, I'm creating a partition key and partition value, and rest of the things are same. Okay, so I have to give here partition, and I will say this is my static partition table. Okay, so dynamic partition is not possible. How many number of times you have to import the partition data? You have to run your sqoop import command. So when you are running a second sqoop import command, so first of all, you change the query here because you want to get the male female data, and your location you will change your target dir, otherwise it will say your data already exists. Okay, so you change the target dir location and you change here the partition key value. So value you have to change, otherwise it will load the data into the same partition if you have not changed to this. Okay, so first time partition, you are loading this data. Second time partition, you are loading into the second partition. Okay, but this is the drawback, right? Because there is no solution for this. Like you cannot use a dynamic partition from the sqoop. Okay, so if you want to do the dynamic partition, so sqoop you can bring all the data and then apply the dynamic partition in hive itself. Okay, if you are applying the dynamic partition in hive itself, then your problem will be solved, right? So you can import all the data like this. This one imported all the data in a source table. And from this table, you can create a partition table and load the data, what we have already learned. But if you still say, okay, I don't want to use dynamic partition, but I want to use static. So manually you run 2 sqoop import command for each partition. Okay. So we will test it this one. We will see how the dynamic, how the static partition will work. Okay. So these parameter will all same, but here I'm keeping it query. Okay. And here is the mail data. Here I will change my target dir location.
So Arvind, is this the format always to make for a scoop request? This is the standard format
This is a
always.
scoop import, not request. This is scoop import, and this is the same format, right? Format means these are the certain parameter you need it, right? Connect you need, username you need, password you need to table or query. Okay, because you are connecting to the MySQL and writing to the Hadoop file system or Hive. Okay, so half parameters are for your database, SQL database, or half parameters or the target parameters. So this complete scoop import divided into the two part. If you see first 5-6 parameters are the and some parameters are not related to either source or target, just some manipulation parameter, right? Like split by ID. Okay, but after this, you see all the parameters are Hive parameter, Hive override, Hive import, create Hive table, Hive partition, key value. Okay, but this is not related. So this is some additional parameter which are related to how the data looks like, how the data will be split it. So those are the extra parameters. Okay. So format means you have to give this set of parameters which is doing your complete scoop import command. If I say if I give this parameter, will it work? If I say if I give this parameter, will it work? Or if I say if I give only 1-2 parameters, it will work? No. So everything is like now you are going complete scoop Hive import. If you are not using Hive import, I think your parameters are done till here. Till here. You don't need to give. Right? This direct you can use. Okay. But scoop Hive import, you are making customizable, right? You are saying, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, right? I want to bring like this. I want to bring as a abro file in my target location. I want to bring my like a binary file as a target location. So you will use another parameter stored as, right? So you will use abro file. Okay.
In most cases, don't we just import, do the scoop import, then do the partition later?
Scoop import.
Yeah, do the overall school import, then do the partitioning after that. Instead of doing import as where sex is male or sex is female, you have two scoop imports here, 1 and 2.
What the question? Scoop import?
Yeah, what I'm saying, if we do the overall import or do the scoop import overall, then do the partition after that. Because if you want to partition the male and the female from the data, you can just import all the data, then do the partition.
So accordingly, you will change, right? Whatever your partition data and partition column.
What happens if you import everything, import all the data, then
Error handling.
no, do the partition after you import them, or you do the, because here I see you doing the first
See,
one.
partition important is, right? You know, partition is making it retrieval faster, right? Same thing we were doing in Hive. Okay. So why we are writing into the partition? Even if we write in the one table and I can do the select star query, I can do, right? That I can do. Okay. But making it partition, I want to get the data retrieval faster. So scoop is not doing anything better or something, right? It is just whatever Hive want to use, you are doing in the way, right? So partition, you are just using, right? Okay, once the partition table will be there, you can data retrieval will be faster because you are not just doing 4-5 record, right? 10 record, 15 record. There will be 1,000, 100,000, 20,000, 50,000, right? So number of records vary, right? Okay. Okay. Partition purpose we know, right? Why we do the partition, right? But here is a dynamic partition is not supported. That I'm going to say. Okay. So scoop is doing only static. Okay. So now I'm going to run this one. This parameter I change. This one. Okay. So I come out from the hive. This come. Second time I should not give the create hive table because I don't want to create the table new, right? Otherwise it will say the table exists. Okay. So when you are using second time, you don't give the this create hive table option. Okay. Okay, let's check the error. Created table. Okay, while loading data, it got the problem.
Arvind, hive import and hive partitioning is already there. So why do we need scoop? Means what it is, what is not having? So we are going for scoop, like hive.
Okay. Why we doing same thing with the scoop? That's a question.
Yes,
Okay. But your data is where? In the database, right? Correct. Okay. So you want to do both the things right together, right? You don't want to, okay, you want to get the data in Hadoop file system first, and then you will do the hive command, right? To do partitioning, all those, right? Load data. Correct.
yes, yeah,
But here you are not doing, right? Here you are giving all the steps to the scoop, right? Scoop is doing in behalf of you, right? On behalf of you. That's the benefit, right?
So scoop is not interacting with the actual database. You mean to say?
Scoop is not doing what?
No, like hive acts on the actual database, right? The HDFS one.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
but scoop doesn't act upon the actual database. You mean to say?
No, actual database only, right? See, my requirement is, see, whatever hive data you are doing loading in partitioning, what from where you are getting data? Somewhere you are getting the data first, right? So you have to bring the data using scoop only, right? First you will bring the
Okay,
data,
okay.
correct? So
Okay.
you are doing in two steps. First you are bringing the data, then you are loading data manually in the partition table. All steps you are doing, correct?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
But here I'm giving you one single scoop import command, which is automatically creating your table and loading data into your partition just you can directly query. That's it. So how fast it is, how is better for you, right? Ultimately, you have to bring the data from MySQL only, right? Because the same data you can't create it, right, in the Hadoop file system manually, right? If it is suppose 100,000 records are there, we need to bring it now first 100,000 records from somewhere, right? Hadoop file system, because Hadoop file system will not have data, right? Initially, right?
Yes.
Got it, now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So why we are learning through Sqoop, right? Because Sqoop is already importing data Hadoop file system, but additionally, I'm saying, okay, I don't want to keep it in Hadoop file system itself. I want to keep it Hive directly. I don't want to do my second step. Okay. So
Okay.
here the error is actually the I forgot to change the DB name. Okay. Because this DB is not exist, so you will get the error. Okay. So make sure, right, all the parameters should be 100% correct. Okay. So whatever one sqoop import command you run now, so you follow from there. Okay. See, I already changed here the database here. This one batch 2024-02. Okay. So when you are running it, you change the parameter. Okay. Otherwise it will be okay. So this is fine because this is still table is not created, right? Because this is particular this DB, the table is not created, but just we change this one, because maybe this directory location is still present. So then it will be, let's see, it is created or not. Because initially data will come on this location only. Okay, Hadoop fs minus ls. Okay, see, data imported. So I think first step, even you are giving anything wrong with the Hive, is no matter related to whatever data import. Data import will do its own job. So here the two-step process, the data import job is done. Okay, even though your table is anything is wrong. So even though something is goes wrong, now you can load the data or not. You have data, right? You got the data in this one. So load data local path command, and you can give this location. Your data will be loaded into the Hive table, which Hive table you want to map. Or you can do external table and give this external location to your table. Your data will be populated, but you have to remove this file. Okay, because this file is no use. Okay, that is the reason it is shifting the data. It is not copying the data. It is completely moving data. So basically what is doing, these three files which has the data, it is copying this file to the DB location, DB where the table location will be created, right? Every table has, internal table has its location, right? In the warehouse directory. Okay. Okay, so what I need to change, I have already changed, so I will change here. I'm making it sync this my warehouse and this is my table. Okay, now everything is good. Now I'm running this. Sqoop, we can import the data into HBase also. Sqoop can import the data in HBase, Sqoop can import the data in Hive, Sqoop can import the data into Hadoop file system. Okay.
So what is the use case when we need to have the data in Hive and to have the data in HBase and in Hadoop, HDFS? Like
There are
we can.
different use cases there. If you bring the data in Hadoop file system, you can load the data in any other data base, right? Either Hive or HBase, or you can use for Spark, anywhere. Because once the data comes in your Hadoop file system, you can read the data from any component, right? Either Spark you can use, or you can use Kafka, or you can use any data analytics tool you can use, okay? Or MapReduce you can use, right? Anything you can use. But the data is in Hive means only Hive queries can run the data, right? If the data is associated with the Hive table, okay? Even that data also you can use anywhere, because see, every data in Hive and HBase is also pointing to the location, okay? But HBase data you cannot use directly, because Hive data is like a file, but HBase data is also file, but it is maintained by the HBase, okay? HBase is not doing the same like a Hive, right? Because whatever data file is there, it is loading, okay? Because it's a real-time transaction management database, right? Okay, because it is maintaining the data, its own format, right? There is a column family is there. When I will teach HBase, then I will show, okay? Like, see, now this time Hive table import complete, okay? Now we verify, we give in this location. So this location, it is deleted, right? So where it is gone? It is gone to, like, we go to the warehouse, and our database folder, batch, .db. This is my table name. So always table folder is created, and inside that, can you see one partition file is created? If I want to see, this is a directory, not a file. This is also directory, okay? Generally partition is created like this only. You already seen that how the partition is created. So column name equal to value, that is the partition. Hadoop fs minus ls. So the file is created inside this directory, okay? So it has same file, it has moved here, okay? So here also the files are coming, okay? So if you see here, the same files are copied from your directory to here. Everything is moved here, okay? And this data is mapped to your table. So how can we check in the table? Okay, let's do the second one also, so that we will see. So when the second one you will do, we are not creating a new Hive table. In the same one more partition directory will be created. And that partition directory, your all files will be copied. Okay. So same command, just we will change the values again. So here we will not use the Hive table. We don't need to create Hive table. So here I will not change the table also. Okay. I will change here the value, and I will change this directory is already created. This directory is not there. So you can use this also, not a problem. Okay. Because this directory is already not there, right? So it is not a problem. So target dir is must, because initially data will be loaded in target dir, and after that it will be doing the processing of the data according to whatever command you given. Like you given a partition, so it will do partition. If it is non-partition, it will do the non-partition load. So load data command you are loading. Static partition you are loading. You remember load data local path, and then you are giving a table, and then last you are giving partition. Okay. So I'm running this command, and this is getting the female data and write into the another partition, this partition. Okay. So I'm running both together after one by one, and then I will show you the table. Okay. Okay, so how much is completed? Okay, both are completed. Okay, if I want to check once the female partition location, okay, if I just do here F, everything will remain same, right? So one more directory is created. Can you see just now it is created 1123 and all the data is the female partition data is there. Okay, how many records are there? So can you see one file is a 0 because the data is total 2 records are there. So how can you bring the 3? So it's basically 2. Now if it is you have more than 4-5 records, then it will be creating total 4 files. But here it is creating 3 files and even one file is a 0, right? Because there is no data, right? Because we have two to record. We have 2 male record and 2 female record. And I have not given -m parameter. That is the reason here it is creating a 4 output file. Okay. So either you can remove it, this one. So only one file it will create and then give -m1. Okay. Or you give the split by ID you are giving always. So then you try to give your own -m parameter. So always give -m and give the number, right? So if you know, right, if you have 2 records, so you can give 2. If you have 100 record or you want to create a 2 file, to give 2, it will create a 25. Okay. Okay, now we start Hive. Batch 2024-02. So last, how many tables I created? I create stat2 table, right? This is the table. Let's see its structure, schema. Show create table. This is the one I created. So if you want to create, you can create 2 partition table, but every time you have to give create hive table. So that is the reason I didn't give create hive table again, because otherwise it will create a multiple tables, right? For the same partition. So why we need to create? Okay. So we should create a partition folder, partition in the same table rather than creating a multiple partition table. Okay, so show create table I'm doing. So first of all, it is showing partition by, right? Partition by column is coming, and the location of the data of the partition is same, right? Where you seen I showed the data. Okay, now if we do query, I do the query to the whole table. So let's start from, this is my table. So when I do the whole table, how many records should come? All the records should come, right? All are coming, same as it is coming. And can you see any discrepancy is there in the data? No, right? If I see the DSC, if I see ID is first, then name, then age, and then gender. It is the same sequence, right? So there is no issue, right? This is the whole data you are able to see, entire table data. But now what is the use of the partition, right? So I will use where I will do the gender, I will say, okay, male data. Okay, so I want to see male data only. I want to see female data. So this is coming through partition. That's the use of partition, right? So this is nothing related to Hive, right? This is not related to Sqoop. This is just simply what you do in Hive, like how to read data, that is coming, okay? Just Sqoop is making it easier. Instead of loading data manually, creating Hive table manually, you load the data manually, you can get it done by the Sqoop, okay? But Sqoop has still limitation. It cannot do dynamic one. Like one single import command, you can load every partitions. It cannot done. It cannot do, right? So that part is not be able to by the Sqoop. Sqoop cannot do that part, okay? Sqoop can load if the partitions are less, you can run the partition. But if you have like 3-4 partitions are there, okay, it is fine. You can do it by this way, okay? But if you have more partitions, like 100 partitions, so you will not run the Sqoop import command 100 times. So better to you go with the Hive, right? Hive is a one shot it will do. We already know dynamic partition in Hive, okay? So we have to think about it, right? Which one is the more appropriate way to use it, okay? Okay, one Sqoop export is pending, okay? So that we have to do. So this is all Sqoop done, okay? And I'll tell you meanwhile HBase, how to install it, okay? And Flume, so that we can cover it tomorrow in Flume HBase both. So our Hadoop part will be finished, okay? So far, whatever Hadoop components are done, I'll just give you the list of all Hadoop. So meanwhile, I just pasted this command so that you can try it. These two commands for the importing data from MySQL table to Hive static partition. So okay, this is the static partition one, and without partition table. So without partition table, one command is an improvement and one command is without improvement, okay? So one command is direct minus table and one is a -e. So you can try both, right? Non-partition table, okay? So this command I'm copy pasting. So you can try this sqoop import command, and this one is the last modified, okay? So this all you do practice. So your sqoop Hive import is finished. Okay. So next is the export also there, and okay, for HBase.
Are you sending this file to the WhatsApp group?
This I will upload it there in the this. I already given this link to everyone, right? This class work.
I'm looking for the link. I don't know. I can't find it.
It is in the description only. Everybody who are in the group, right? So everyone has
At the
this.
beginning, okay. I'll
Yeah,
probably go
on
back.
top I given, and even I given the old one also. So you can navigate others also, right? This is the one. Okay, I'm giving it this classroom. You can join here. I will upload second and I think third session of the scoop. Already two are there. Okay, so third one I will add it today. Okay, so Hive all you can see here. Okay, and map reduce is there. Okay, so next two component, which is not that much important, but yeah, but HBase is important, not the Flume. Okay, so HBase we need a HBase installation and we need a Flume installation. Okay, so these two installation I'm telling you now, so you can just go through it. Flume installation is very easy. Just you download the Flume tar file and then extract it and then set the flume ng command. Okay, set the flume home path. So you go to the flume download. So you will get download Apache Flume. Already it's in my instructions is there if you open it here. Okay, so here is oh, this one Hadoop installation document. So here we already done all these things we done. Okay, hive is done. Okay, sqoop is done. Okay, this is a sqoop connector, jar, and all those things. Okay, this is a flume. So flume ng is like first of all you have to wget command you can use, or otherwise you can if you can directly in your software folder you can use wget command, or you can manually download. Go to here and go to click on this and download the tar file and extract this tar file. Extract this tar file. Extract this tar file and set the home path of your this flume home path of your flume directory. So flume directory you set it, and then after you run the source command, source -rc. So if you done this and after that flume ng, then you will see it's not giving any error, not found. So simply what you need to do, if you just type because my case is flume is already installed. So flume -ng is a command to run flume. Okay, so this is the flume. Okay, so you can see flume version is showing, right? It is showing the flume version, the same version I installed. Okay, so this is the flume, and flume is basically using the configuration file. I will talk about what is flume. Flume is same like a sqoop kind of import export tool, but flume is not like it can do any type of data, not only structured data, even the unstructured data, semi-structured data, every type of data you can import. Okay, but we generally use sqoop for is semi-structured and unstructured, not for structured, because for structured data it can do, but it is not that much option is not there like sqoop is giving. Okay, so sqoop is particular to structured data. Okay, and flume is particular to unstructured and semi-structured data. Okay, but even the sqoop is giving the option for structured data also. If you go here and the flume documentation guide, you go flume user guide. So there you will find documentation user guide. So if you see here, if I see RDMS, so so there are different flume source and flume target is there. So if you see here flume source and flume target, so one JDBC source also we can use. Like HBase is also there, Avro is there, Hive sync is there, SDFS. We will use SDFS sync. So most of the times you are bringing the data in SDFS, but here is also option Hive sync. We can bring the data directly into Hive table. Okay, and source could be anything. Source could be like I can take the data from any different source like Twitter is a one source, Kafka is a one source, Netcat is a one source, sequence generator is a one source. So there are many are there, but I will cover 4-5 examples. Like one is the execute source is there. So execute source is like some command is there, like tail command. So if I run a tail command for any file, I will get the data, and that data will go to the Hadoop file system. We can write the data. So we will use sync is the SDFS sync. Okay. Okay. I will go with this. Okay. I will tell the HBase installation. Okay. So one installation you complete Flume, and the next installation is the HBase installation. For HBase installation, first you go to the HBase version, right? Okay, which HBase version you are going to install. So you go HBase download. So latest HBase version you find, download HBase. And here you can find 2.5.7 is this one is a release. So go to the binary, click on binary and go to this one, or wget you can do this one. Wget and give this one. So you can download the tar file. Same thing I'm doing. So instead of this, what you can do, you can copy this path and you can see here, I will change it here, here. wget. So I will change this location to this location. Okay. So when you do wget on this location, wherever you are doing wget, I'm doing wget in my software folder. Okay. So you do the wget here, then tar file will come. So just change this one to this one because you have to modify this one, and then move it to this one to move this bin tar, right? Bin, like this one will come 2.5.7 client bin. I think it will come only, just check that. Okay, whatever is coming, whatever is extracted version, just move it to just rename it. This is a just rename it. Like I want to keep it the name 2.5.7, and then move the 2.5.7 to USR local HBase directory. So you are moving this content, or better to do, don't give this one, USR local, just give this one. So that as it is, this folder will go to the, in this directory, USR local. Okay. And once you come to the USR local, don't give this one because multiple folder is not needed. Just keep it 2.5.7 like this. You set the HBase home path and bin path. So this is first step is download the HBase, move it to the USR local, whatever you are downloading, you are extracting, and whatever your HBase 2.5.7 folder, copy it to the USR local. Okay. Or directly you can wget, you can do here itself. Okay. USR local, you can go to the CD USR local.
Right.
If I show you my USR local, okay, CD USR. Yeah. So CD USR local, when I check here, my HBase folder. So my HBase is inside this HBase. Okay. So if I go to here, CD HBase and ls I do, I copied the content of the HBase. Okay. So either way you can do. If you keep it the name like HBase 2.5.7, so keeping it name, the better is you can come to know what is the version you are using. You are using the version, right? You can remember the version. Okay. So I always suggest, right? You should always give the version name. In your installation folder should have version, so that you can remember the version, which version you are using of HBase. Okay. So simply you have to copy the entire HBase 2.5.7 folder here, which has these directories. Okay. And after that, you will set your home path and bin path. You set your home path and bin path of your that directory. Okay. So I'm giving all the steps here, the same thing you have to follow, and then source command, and then go to the HBase site.xml file. You will get in the conf directory. Okay, I will go to the CD conf here, HBase site.xml. So this HBase site.xml, you modify and add these two properties. So add these two properties. These two properties will not be there. Okay. So these two properties are saying, like you have some Hadoop directory locally. This is your local file system file. Okay. Hadoop directory. You are simply adding your like H file. H file is basically your data location of the actual data location of your Hadoop file system for HBase. Okay. Like Hive is using the files you are copying. Okay. That location. But Hadoop HBase is using H file. And these H files are not created by us. These H files are created by HBase. Okay. So H file directory location we are creating, HBase will use this location for data storage. Okay. For its data storage for HBase table. Got it? And zookeeper is will be like this. Zookeeper is basically HBase is dependent on the zookeeper because it is providing a high availability, because HBase is the master slave architecture. So HBase is having one master and region server are there. So one master and region server. So master is like like checking the region servers, right? Okay. So all this high availability is provided by the zookeeper. Okay. So zookeeper comes in picture in the Kafka also, but zookeeper is used here also. So zookeeper is a coordination service which is providing interaction between the master and region server. Okay. So when I will show you HBase architecture, okay, then you will understand like what is a master, what is a region. Okay, so in the architecture of the HBase, we will see that master region server. So in the HBase architecture, the one master and multiple region servers are there. And zookeeper is a coordinator between the master and region server for high availability. Okay, so when we look at the architecture, we will see there are many components are there. Okay, so client is interacting. The client is interacting with the H master server, and master server is basically communicating to the region server. So region server has memory storage area and disk storage area, hlog. So this hlog file is in the H file because this hlog file. So basically, like here is this architecture is basically client is communicating to master through zookeeper. Okay, and then master is giving a location of all the region server to the client, and then client start reading the data or writing the data to the HBase. So you need to understand these all component. What are the components are there? Okay, so this part will come. So you have to just complete this one, and after that we have to create two directories. These directories we have to create. Okay, so this is a local directory. Can you see this is the local? So you are adding a configuration in the property file, configuration file, and after that you are creating a local directory. Can you see this is the local directory you are creating? So this is the local directory you are creating because you are not using Hadoop fs command, right? So creating a Hadoop directory is a local only. Okay, try it like this is and the create directories. After that you have to start the HBase service. Go to the USR local, your HBase folder. So your HBase folder is this one. USR HBase, this one. This is your HBase directory folder. So here you will have this one. You have to go to in this one, USR local, HBase 2.5.7 bin, and there you will start this. But before that, you go to the root. If you don't go to the root, it will not start properly. So you go to the root. And one more thing is when you are giving here, okay, here I change it. Okay. So once you do this, exit it and then write the command in your home directory, run this command. So you will see your HBase will start. Okay. Let me start the HBase. So I will be starting. First, I will go to the start my HBase service. Okay. So I will do sudo su. Okay, I'm in root now. So cd usr local HBase. Okay, here cd bin dot slash start hbase.sh. I have to start the HBase service. Okay, now I will exit it. Okay, now I will type it HBase shell. Okay, because my home path, everything is set, right? That is the reason I'm able to do HBase shell command. So it will start my HBase prompt. Same like you have hive prompt, you will get the HBase prompt. Okay, you will get HBase prompt. Okay, once you get this HBase prompt, then you can run the HBase command. So HBase shell is also having the, like you can create a table, you can insert the data into table. Now you can see HBase prompt came. Now if you do list command, List command is giving you the table. Like I can see the table in the HBase. Okay, if I want to scan command, scan, I will say emp2. So this is showing me the data like this. So this is not a tabular data, right? It's not like a simple SQL data you are getting. It's like a column family. So here is a structure is row ID is a unique ID. Okay, that is basically identifier for recognizing your row. Okay, so you are able to see two rows for the same row ID, but it is a column oriented database. So if you have multiple column family data you are entering. So here is the first column is column family name is personal data. So personal data has the city column and the value is this Hyderabad. Second personal data is a second, this is the same column family, but the column name is a name column. The column name is a name and name is I'm giving name. Okay. So this way I'm adding multiple columns in the column family. Okay. So it's a schema less. That is the advantage of the HBase is it's a schema less, right? We don't need have any strict schema. Like every column you don't need to insert the data. Okay. Suppose if I say I want to insert only my city column data, I don't have the name data. So I can insert only this one. Okay. So that is called the schema free, right? Schema less, right? Or schema, dynamic schema, we can say. Dynamic schema is like it's an advantage in the NoSQL database, dynamic schema. Okay. So that is the reason NoSQL database. This HBase is NoSQL database. So HBase is following the CAP theorem, consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. So if you want to see like HBase NoSQL database, so it's a column family type of database. HBase is a column oriented database, column family. And if I want to see HBase, so HBase lies here. If you see HBase, where is the HBase coming here? Let's see another. So when we say consistency, availability, and partition, like the same like in the SQL database, you have consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. So these are the type of category of the NoSQL database, like key value store, column family database, like Cassandra and HBase are the same category. Document oriented database is there. Graph database is there. So HBase and Cassandra both are the same type of database, right? Like it's a column family, column oriented. So column oriented database are the database, which is the database which is using the column family, which is writing data as a column oriented. Okay. So column oriented way it is writing the data. Okay. And the CAP theorem, right? I was talking about the consistency, availability, and partition tolerance. Okay. CAP. So in the CAP theorem, we can see where HBase comes. So HBase is coming in the two properties, consistency and partition tolerance. So any NoSQL database is following at least two properties. At least two properties following, then it's called NoSQL database. If it is not following two properties, then it will not be considered the NoSQL database. So consistency and partition tolerance. So HBase Mongo is the same type, but here is a Cassandra is availability and partition tolerance. But we seen as a column family oriented, if I see, so HBase and Cassandra are the same type. Okay. So one is how the data modeling, right? How the data is stored. That is the one thing. And second thing is what are the rules are followed by that particular NoSQL database. So if we see the category of the rules, right, we have three rules. Consistency means your data should be consistent. Your data should not be inconsistent, right? Your multiple read and write is happening. Your multiple read happening and multiple writes happening. Your data should not be inconsistent. So that is called consistency. Availability means your data is distributed across the nodes. So whenever any machine is down, your data should be highly available. Hadoop, same like Hadoop, right? So Hadoop is a scalable framework, right? You know already, right? like scalability is there. So same horizontal scalability is here. And the third one is a partition tolerance. Like your data is distributed into partitions in the multiple machines. So it is also providing a high availability only. Okay. But if I say Mongo HBase is following the consistency and partition tolerance, okay, availability is there, but we can say like more emphasize on these two property. Okay. So 3 properties can be there, but at least 2 is a rule. Okay. And when I say Cassandra is a AP. DynamoDB is AP. React is a AP. And any RDMS database is a consistency availability. Because availability is nowadays coming because of multi-cluster environment like SQL is supporting. Okay. But not all the SQL databases. Like some of the SQL databases are now going to follow availability also. Okay. So this you remember. Okay. This all this cap theorem properties. Okay. And install this one. I will cover it first HBase command and Flume configuration files. Okay. If you want to follow more on that, so you can check it other batch one. You can check HBase or Flume sessions. Okay. Okay. And Python sessions also there in this one. I'm giving you the link of this one. You can follow this one. So in this one, Python tutorials are there. You can follow all Python 3 sessions are there. Flume is there. Okay. And HBase is not done here. Okay. Okay, so tomorrow I will do. Okay, so meanwhile, you just install all these things. Okay, and I will share this today's scoop one. Okay. Okay, thanks everyone.